Peace and blessings. I'm back again with another text of scripture, and I wanted to share this one too because I felt like it was relevant to the current state of America. Um, we've been going through the book of Matthew, and the Matthew just shares the gospel about who God is and what he will do in our lives. And so I came across this um, scripture about seeking and knocking on the door, right? Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you, right? So a lot of people were, in strife. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What can we do? So, it's really nothing we can do other than to pray, right? Pray for our president, pray for the next 4 years. But as it pertains to that, we need to remember what our priorities are as a godly and holy person, right? A divine being, what our priorities should look like. And I want to just get into that a little bit, right? So the first things first is putting God first in all things that you do. God comes first, point blank, period, right? Making time for God, whether that is you connecting through God through your own spiritual tools, right? We all have a way of connecting to God. We all do, right? And so you want to make that a priority. Second is your home and your family, your commitment to your home and your family. A lot of the times, this is, I feel like, where we get behind, right? Because we're so caught up in the security of the world and thinking that security in the world can give us that peace. And it's far from the truth. Your commitment to your family comes first before the world, right? Before the community, before your job. And so in these last few days, we want to make sure, and I say in these last few days because prior to this scripture, I came across another scripture, Mark chapter 3 verses, okay, don't quote me on that. But in the book of Mark, it talks about the last days and how nursing moms will suffer, pregnant moms will suffer, and they're suffering because they are not trusting in God, and they are, a lot of them were selling their bodies and doing things that weren't holy to save the children, doing what they thought was going to save the children. And in a past reading of mine on this page, I actually did a reading on the next 4 years in America and what will be impacted. And what was impacted were mothers and children were impacted greatly by the president and his new policies. And the Bible actually talks about this. It's so crazy. The Bible actually talks about this in Mark, about the last days before Jesus makes his comeback, and how who were going to be hurt were going to be the pregnant mothers and the nursing mothers. And this is in Matthew, it talks about what you should do to protect yourself, right, of this harm that may come your way and your children's way. And it is your commitment to home, right, and family. The world wants us to think, especially in the USA, right, the biggest capitalistic society wants you to think that work comes before your kids. It does not, okay? Money, it says right here in the scripture, family must be more important than occupation, since scripture clearly states that there is no success if the family is lost. There is no success. You will never gain true riches if you do not prioritize your family first. Then after your family, your relationship to your employer is what comes next in the task assigned, and then your community after. So this is just a reminder that you must remember the order of priorities, okay? Understanding that God comes first, your commitment to your family comes second, your commitment to your job comes third, and then your commitment to the community. And this is how you can ensure that your family is protected and the ones that you love is protected during the storm. And so, yeah, also ask, seek, and knock, and the door shall be open unto you. Prayer, 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 prayer. People ask me, how have I been able to get through the things that I've been through? Nothing but prayer. Because in times through the storm, there's not going to be anything that you have. Those people, God bless those people who lost their homes in wildfire. They have nothing but prayer. They don't have insurance companies backing them up. They don't have firefighters helping save them. Okay, there's a lot of people who didn't get saved in those fires. And the hurricanes that came through Florida, there were a lot of people who were not able to get rescue, weren't able to get help. What do you think that they relied on? Who else can you rely on but prayer? And when it's a promise that God is going to do what he said he's going to do, right? So I just want to leave that as a reminder to you all. Like, anybody watching this video, if you feel like you have nothing left, it's okay. It's okay. You have salvation in the Lord, right? And so I love this. Hope this helps. Peace.